It's Vikings week, ladies and gentlemen, divisional rivals. The Vikings can go blow their own horns because the Vikings still suck, ladies and gentlemen. They still are garbage and will never be good. We all know.
This is Tom Grossi, and you're watching the PackReacts podcast.
Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to PackReacts. I'm your host, Jeremy Hadler, along with our special guest, once again, John, for coming back on. Mike is unavailable once again, folks, so he'll be not on tonight's, but we'll be having John, so John will be covering us back again with us. Thank you, John, for joining us once again.
Thank you for having me.
And, of course, we talk about the Packers here, as we always do on this channel. So make sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We appreciate it. And give us a follow on Twitter because we're still being active on Twitter. And if you don't watch us live here, as we do, or watch the video afterwards, we are also available on Spotify if you want to watch our podcast. We posted after every episode we do on the YouTube, we post it on there. So in your free time, if you want to go listen on Spotify, just look up PackReacts. And there's your podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So there's that. But it is Vikings week, and I do have a video to play for everyone because this man knows what it's about, what it's like playing the Vikings. This man really knows what it's like. Let's play.
Well, what do you say we all sit down and watch the Packers kick the crap out of the Vikings, huh?
Well, we like the Vikings.
What did you say? You're Viking fans? What the hell is wrong with you? Get out of my house!
Red, come on, it's not our fault. We're from Minnesota. We were born this way.
Out! Out, sickos!
Shout out to Red Foreman, ladies and gentlemen. And who knows what it's like being a Packers fan.
Yep.
I would give the shout out to him. But yes, as the title of this episode tonight is called The Defense Comes Alive with the sacks, the turnovers, interceptions because of what happened last week's game where the Packers took on the Titans. The Packers defeated the Tennessee Titans 30-14. And man, were there so many defensive great plays out there of 8 sacks, multiple interceptions, I believe 2. Also stopped them multiple times on 4th downs. And the Malik Willis revenge game happens, and we win.
Yep.
Like, couldn't go any better for the Packers, honestly. Like, that was a very fun, great game watching there. And, I mean, Packers took care of business. You came up with a different scheme because the week prior, you ran the ball so many times. And this week, we went with the passing game, and it worked out fine. So, finally picking the poison, and it works out. And the defense, oh my, did it come alive in that game. Jeff Hafley, praise to him of what he has done so far. Let's keep it up, Jeff Hafley, because I'm very happy. Yeah. John, what is your thoughts on this game?
Shout out to Matt LaFleur, first of all. I mean, after that, what he's done with Malik Willis, I mean, I really do think he should be contended for Coach of the Year. But, I mean, you saw what he did last week. A lot of running, not a lot of passing. And then, as you said last week, you wanted to see more passing, and this week he did more running and more passing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he just really – I mean, Matt LaFleur built around him really nicely there with schemes and everything. And obviously 8 sacks on defense is just outrageous. Outrageous for the Pack, too. I mean, that's insane for recently. But, yeah, we made Will Levis look really nervous. A lot of bad turnovers for him because of the pressure. I mean, we were all over him. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, Jair Alexander got his get back, pick 6. Very happy about that, yep. And, yeah, I mean, we played great. And, yeah, Jeff Hafley also, I mean, should be feeling real confident about his defense right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Malik Willis, I mean, just to give you some stats here, folks, he got 202 passing yards, 1 passing TD, he got sacked 3 times, he completed 13 passes out of 19. He had 120.9 passer rating. Amazing to see that on Malik Willis. And he ran for a touchdown and had 73 rushing yards on 6 carries. The man was unstoppable in the game, especially when it was 3rd and long. The amount of times it was 3rd and 15, 16, 17, 18, he would still get the first down somehow, and it worked out. Like,
Yeah.
Couldn't get any better. Just couldn't.
Nope.
Just couldn't. But yeah, I mean, the only thing going into this offense here, I would say the run game kind of picked up a little bit afterwards, but there were so many penalties, and that's like my big thing with this team is the amount of offensive penalties that has happened. We have the most offensive penalties in the league because if we stop that, Packers would have been up by more and scored a lot easier too on a couple more touchdowns. But every time, for some reason, Josh Jacobs was running, someone had to throw a flag, and it was annoying. So they got to address that, especially against Minnesota, because to be a lot closer than what we just did to the Tennessee Titans. Because the Tennessee Titans, no offense, are a garbage team, but it's going to be a lot closer with this Minnesota Vikings team despite being 3-0.
Yeah. And Josh Jacobs, speaking of Josh Jacobs, great first half and nothing in the second half.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to think of something with that too. I mean, maybe it's because of all the penalties. The whole run game gets thrown off with the penalties. So, I mean, that's definitely got to get talked about.
Yes. I mean, they got to fix that easily. And that's got to be one of the big things I would say, for this team so far in these 3 weeks, because every week when Josh Jacobs has a good run, and we see in every game, flag gets thrown every single time, and it's annoying. Just waiting to see him get his outbreak and burst just to run it down. But yeah, that would be my big thing on the offensive side. For receiving core too, I will just allow Christian Watson had the most receiving yards, which was 67. He had that big catch, that 50-50. Excuse me. He had that big catch down the field and had that 50-50 when Malik wanted to throw it deep, and I was happy to see that. Jane Reed had a couple nice plays. He had a 30-yard catch for his long one. Emmanuel Wilson, he had that nice dump-off play and got that touchdown in there. It's awesome to see that. Not much, though, for Luke Musgrave and Romeo Dobbs. Didn't get to see much of them. But he was trying to spread the ball around, and they get really to Jane Reed most of the time, but still, it was awesome to see that, though, I would say.
Yeah, it was good. I think Dontavian Wicks scored, right?
No, he did not score. It was Emmanuel Wilson was the one who scored. Malik scored. It was just the only passing TD was to Emmanuel Wilson because he had that nice screen pass and he ran all the way down the end zone.
Oh, okay. Am I thinking of the Colts?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to see that he's spreading the ball around, though, not just trying to chuck it up to Christian Watson for 50-50 balls every time.
Exactly.
Even though he does come down with them almost every time it gets thrown to him.
It was, yeah. Yeah, I'll take it. But let's talk about this defense here. The defense. This defense, as we mentioned, 8 sacks. First time the Packers do that since 2005. That's a long time ago. And we were very young. Some of us might not have been born, folks. But that's how it was. Just insane. And they kept putting pressure and pressure and pressure. They just kept knocking Will Levis to the ground, knocking him. They had 12 quarterback hits on him. Pretty good. And they just kept getting pressure and pressure and they collapsed the pocket so easily. Now, I get the Titans' offense line is not so great, but still, you got to give credit, though, for the 8 sacks. Like, that's awesome to do that. And then the 12 quarterback hits, got to do that. And you also had the fumble recovery of Lucas Van Ness. Awesome to see that because he had a good game, too, honestly. Like, that was one of his best games. He had a sack, but he had a couple here and there. I mean, Preston Smith had 2 sacks. We could have seen another sack with Sean Gary. You could have had one of his sacks, but Preston, of course, was offside on that. But, I mean, overall, great. And then, obviously, the interceptions. You had Jair with that pick 6, baby, taking it down to the house. Then Xavier McKinney comes up with the interception at the end of the game. Coming from 3 games he's had an interception, folks. He could be the next Bland of just getting that interception and almost break the record. He could be. But he reminds me a bit of Charles Woodson out here, folks. Of watching him so far, it's worked out great. And the way he got that interception was so amazing to me because he was at the middle of the 40-yard line on their own, and he ran all the way. And it took him just 3 seconds to get all the way down the line or the sideline, folks, and get it and just get down. Like, that's awesome. Like, most guys can't do that. He did it, and it was just awesome. He has great awareness and readability and IQ. I awesome see that. John, what do you think?
Yeah, I think, I mean, when we had Darnell Savage, I mean, we're seeing completely different results already. We're only 3 weeks in, and he has 3 interceptions, 1 from each game. So, I mean, yeah, I think he's great, and he's a huge part of this defense getting better.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think he's one of the anchors to pull this defense, and it's definitely made a big difference to this defense to help Jeff Hafley out a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely say that. And then to go to special teams, because we didn't have any missed field goals technically, because the one was a miss, but the Titans saved us pulling a flag out there on Jeffrey Simmons, and we scored a touchdown on Manuel Wilson. So thank goodness that happened, because otherwise it would have been annoying to see that. But Braden Narvison, 3 for 3. His longest of the day was a 47-yard, and he made all his extra points. John, do you think you're happy to see Braden Narvison make these field goals a lot more, or that maybe they miss again like we had last game, or the one that didn't count? Or are you starting to worry a little bit about him?
I am definitely starting to worry a little because, I mean, we went from really bad to Anders Carlson. So, I mean, I'm not like – but like I'm not happy with the results that I'm seeing. I do understand that he's a rookie, so I'm understanding that.
Okay.
But he's, these aren't like 55-yarders he's missing. Yeah. So, but it's good to see that he's making extra points. That's good. But I feel like I'd like to see a little more.
Okay. Yeah, I would like this. I mean, the nice thing compared to Anders Carlson, he makes the extra points. So that it's almost guaranteed every time there.
Yep.
I will worry about his right from the 35 to 45 range. That's where it worries me a little bit, because that has been his not so good area of where he's doing his field goal ranges from. Everywhere else he's fine. That he just got to work on a bit more, and we cannot have the same result of what happened when we were playing the 49ers when we almost beat them in playoffs. If they make that field goal, who knows what would have happened then? I think that's what's been the case, was because if Anders made that field goal, Packers probably would have won the game. Yeah. But we need to see, we can't have that again with Braden. We can't have that again with Narvison, because if we have that, then history repeats itself again with this, because we're still trying to replace Mason Crosby out here.
Yeah, it's been 3 years or 2 years.
I believe 2 years, I believe. Yeah, 2 years.
Crosby wasn't good at all his last year at Green Bay, but still trying to work on that special teams. But special teams in general does look better on kick returns and punt returns. We look better all around. Besides, I'm still not confident on is it, how do you say Navarson?
Navarson.
Navarson, yeah. Still not 100% on him, but he's a rookie, so. Yeah.
I mean, we'll definitely see when the frozen tundra comes to see how well he does in the cold weather. That's gonna be a big difference to see what he does there. I was very happy to I want to give a shout out to Daniel Whelan, the punter for us, because he has been balling in this season so far. His longest on Sunday was a 63-yarder. That's insane to do that. His average has been a 48.8. That's still good. And he only punted 5 times, but he has made a big difference, I will say. When you're watching the game in that, when he's making the punts, it changes, it gives the Packers momentum of where he positions the football. And the special teams has gotten it down to good spots. And of course, it wasn't inside the 20 for where we had it at all during the Tennessee game. But he has gotten multiple times and has gotten in a great field position to help the Packers get the ball back on offense very quickly. And the defense get a great shot at coming close to a safety, interception, or just 3 and outs.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative of him, especially as a former punter in high school. It's really cool to see that we have a boot of a leg at punter, and he has brought us out of some tough situations in our own end zone. So it's good to see that he's preventing points for opponents.
Yes, definitely. It's fantastic to see that. I mean, who would have known? I mean, we've tried with like getting punters every single year, and we've always had to like change it every single time. But John, let me ask you this: who would have thought it's hard to find a kicker than a franchise QB for the Packers? Who would have thought? And you compare it to the NFL.
Yeah, there are so many great kickers in the NFL, like a lot of great kickers, and we're just getting unlucky, I guess. I mean, who drafted a kicker in the 4th round? Who was that?
I have no idea. I can't remember.
Yeah, one of them drafted a kicker in the 4th round, and it's paying off. So I mean, who knows if lately it's the draft stock is getting higher for them, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, compared to the Bears, I much rather have a trouble finding a kicker than a quarterback. So
That's true. That's true.
that's the nice part of finding your franchise quarterback. And while most teams can find their kicker easily, but they can't find their franchise quarterback, we can do the complete opposite. We find the great quarterback, we still can't find the kicker, though.
Yep.
But yeah. And then I'll go in just to look at what the Packers defense again held the receivers for the Tennessee Titans under 260 yards. Now that's not bad, especially when you look at the players like Calvin Ridley. He had 1 catch for 9 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Pretty good. DeAndre Hopkins, who had the most, had 6 catches for 73 receiving yards. That's still pretty good when you're forcing to be another guy because the Tennessee Titans don't have that many options, but their second guy was Tyjae Spears, their backup running back, with 4 catches for 54 receiving yards. Like, if they can just like force it out, take the poison out, and that's going to be the big story when we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings game. It's how they deal with Justin Jefferson. This game, they took out the best receiver, which was Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
but I mean, I was very stoked about this defense. The only thing I really got annoyed with was McDuffie getting burned on that first touchdown, and then Stokes couldn't make that great play against D-Hop though, but he played a solid game overall, I would say though.
Yeah, and I also think obviously the pressure that we're getting up front has to do with how limited receivers are, or this week specifically.
Yeah,
because we had 8 sacks and 12 QB hits. So I mean, that's definitely another reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Packers defense, they held pretty good on the rushing end part because the Tennessee Titans rushing was 33 rushing yards, and the biggest, their main running back Tony Pollard had 16 carries for 14 rushing yards.
Damn.
When does that happen in the Packers run defense? Never.
Yeah, never.
Like, that's awesome to do that. Now it's going to be completely different this week because you're going against Aaron Jones, but still, that's great.
Yeah, and Tony Pollard is an elite running back in the NFL, so that was great to see, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just awesome to see. Like, this Packers defense has come alive so far. I mean, what was it? I saw the Packers defense was leading in takeaways. They were leading in interceptions. They're 5th, I believe, in 3rd down conversions. There were so many when looking at this defense. Now, I get there were 3 weeks in, but you got to be impressed of what Jeff Hafley has done with this defense.
Yeah, we have 8 interceptions this year already, and last year we had 8 interceptions the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
So that is crazy. That's a crazy stat.
And the 3rd down completion percentage were 6th in the league and the 3rd down completion percentage, John, is 28.1%.
Wow. Yeah.
And we are allowing 19.3 points per game. That's 12. A 71.6 passer rating, 11 sacks, tied 5th, and the fewest defensive penalties. Just insane from what we're looking at here.
Yep, all Jeff Halfley.
Exactly. Got to give credit to Jeff Halfley, definitely. All right. Now the Packers, they go on to be 2-1 because of the defense and the offense with Malik Willis revenge game, we like to say. But it really wasn't according to him. But we like to say it was. But let's talk about Mr. Aaron Jones here. Because of this week's game, because we have the Packers-Vikings here, Aaron Jones makes his return back to Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about this show with Mr. Aaron Jones?
I did see Matt LaFleur's interview or press conference, and he was like, they were asking about Aaron Jones, and he was like, who's that? Who's that? So I really hope that doesn't mean he's going to rush for like 150 yards and catch like 10 balls at Lambeau, but I can definitely see that happening. I do think that the Minnesota is going to try to pound him with I think Minnesota is going to try to overuse him.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's going to be a disadvantage to them because they don't remember that Aaron Jones has been in the league a long time now. So I mean, is Justin Jefferson playing this week?
Yes.
He is. Okay. But I think he's hurt, right?
Let me give me 1 second. He is hurt, but it didn't really affect him at all, really. So, and he's not on the injury report though. He's not on that. He did get hurt a little, if I remember, but he didn't get. It didn't affect him at all though.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if he did a Lambeau leap. I think that'd be pretty cool if he did a Lambeau leap. But yeah, I just hope we can stop him and this doesn't. I don't see edits on TikTok of Aaron Jones going crazy in Lambeau.
No, I don't see him go super crazy. I think this is now if this was Joe Barry's defense, I could see Aaron Jones get 120, 130, whatever you put the hiker in. Now this I think is going to be a bit different. I think we could. See, I'm fine if you hold Aaron Jones to 100 yards at most. I am fine with it. That's completely fine with me. It's just you cannot let him get those big plays. You can't see him just break out because that is what Jones is known for, is just making guys miss. And we've seen those big plays. We saw when we were playing Dallas in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he had the day of his life, and just it happens. I mean, that's the one thing you got to watch out for him.
Yeah, also the receiving game too. I mean, he's a great receiving back. So hopefully we can hold him to that too with the screens and all of that.
Yeah, definitely. And then Aaron Jones, I mean, he also posted his message for the Packer fans. He still loves Green Bay. Will always carry the G all the time except this Sunday, but man, I just miss him. He was always a very nice person and always humble. Humble man. I always appreciated about him.
Probably the greatest running back I'd say we've ever had. Unless you want to say like Paul Hornig, but I don't know if I would go there. But
I mean, there's also Amon Green.
Yeah, but I think stats wise, I'm pretty sure Aaron Jones is the leading rusher for Green Bay.
Yeah. I'm just saying Amon Green was more of explosive. Green was more explosive.
Yes. But I mean, for what Aaron Jones has done for the team over the 6 years he's been with us, I would say he's done a lot for us.
Oh, yeah. He's absolutely done a lot for us, especially when he what was it? I believe it was 2021, and I think it was the game against the Lions where he had his football little necklace that had his father's ashes in it. And after he scored the touchdown, he lost it. And one of the Packers trainers found it I believe at 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning on the field. And it was in the end zone. And they found it and they gave it back to him. Now they're making a documentary about that.
That's awesome to see.
Yeah. So, Aaron Jones, always love the dude. I won't love you this Sunday, but I wish you well and do everything well. Just not against us. You could do well against the Lions and the Bears.
Oh yeah.
I just hope the team overall doesn't do super well, but you individually do well. That's all I can say.
Yes, much respect for him.
Mm-hmm, definitely. But let's get into this upcoming week's game here, John, because again, It's the Packers taking on the Vikings in Lambeau Field, 1:00 game. I thought this, well, I would not surprised it's a 1:00 game, but I think it could have been flexed a little bit here and there, maybe.
Yeah, I think it could have been a 4:00. I don't know, but I don't know what the spread on this is, but I do think I don't know who the favorite is either, but I'm assuming it's Minnesota.
I believe the last I checked was the Packers, and let me check. It was the Packers. It had it for me. The last I checked the spread, it was -2.5 for the Packers. Oh yes, it is -2.5 for the Packers.
Yeah, I wonder if that's barring Jordan Love playing or not, but
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say like if Jordan Love plays, I think we have a higher chance because I think we have just as good of a chance if Malik Willis plays the way he did last week.
Yeah.
I think we'll win pretty nicely because Minnesota's defense is I don't think it's good, and
I mean it's been good this past couple of weeks. I will say that.
yeah, but like I think who have they played?
The 49ers, the Texans,
And the Giants.
Yes, and the Giants.
Okay. All right. So I'll give credit where credit's due in the 49ers. But I don't think the Texans are that good either. But that's a hot take. But I do think this defense is phony. I actually think the whole team is phony.
I can agree with you on that.
I think Sam Darnold is so phony. And I think he's gonna pull the same stuff he did in Carolina, where he looked like an MVP, and then week 5 he just played horrible, and then Baker Mayfield came in, and it was a disaster. So I think we're gonna see that, but this year, but he does have the best receiver in the league, and I do think that he has potential to tear us up, unless obviously Jair Alexander's on him, because Jair Alexander has a history of doing very well against Justin Jefferson.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think if we stop Aaron Jones like we stopped Tony Pollard, which I don't think is going to happen because Aaron Jones is a better running back than Tony Pollard all around. And the Vikings are right now, they look like obviously a much better offense than the Titans.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think if we played how we did last week and Malik Willis plays how he did last week, or Jordan Love comes back, even though I don't think he should play, especially looking at how Malik Willis played last week, I don't think it's worth it. But yeah, I think this will be a close game, and I do think we'll squeak out a win.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to come down to the wire once again. I hope that Jordan plays because I kind of want him to, just because it's a divisional rival game, and I feel like that's going to affect if it's like Malik was not to discredit Malik Willis' game what he did last week, but I feel like we have a lot better shot if it's Jordan, and if he plays and we get that double against Minnesota, that helps us out a lot for the division title.
You talking about Jordan Love playing?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be big, but I think Malik Willis's confidence is insanely high right now, and I think that he can play well against that defense. But you're right. If Jordan Love was playing, we definitely have a better shot of winning. But if there's no need to force it.
No.
If Malik Willis, if Jordan Love is still not 100%.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I mean, to me, this is like an important game just because it's a divisional rival game, and I do think it's going to make an impact. It can hurt us down the road if Love doesn't play and Malik Willis plays terrible. Like that could really hurt us down the road if we're trying to win the division. Even though some of us think that we're going to win the division, some of us don't think we're going to win the division. But that could also be a desire for if you make the playoffs or not too.
Yeah, I mean, it's only week 4 we're going into, so we don't really know who's going to win the division.
Yeah.
But everyone's on the Vikings right now, but obviously I think that whole train will shut down by week 7. So, I mean, yeah, if Jordan Love plays, I think we have a higher chance of winning. But I mean, I really don't see I can see Malik Willis having a bad game because he's still new to the program, and this is probably the best. This is probably the best defense we're going to play right now.
Mm-hmm.
We played the Eagles week 1, but I don't know. They look a little weird. But
yeah.
I definitely would like to see Jordan Love play, but it doesn't need to be forced.
I get that. I mean, looking at the stats here for the Vikings defense, they're 13th overall. They're very good in the run defense. So if you could attack that run defense and really go at it, that would be awesome. But the big weakness, John, is their pass defense. They're 26 in the league right now with that. So again, it's going to be I feel like it might be similar to last week's game of the game plan here. You got to attack them in the air. If you attack them in the air, you're going to do pretty well and better game there. And you also got to control the pace of the game, because that has been what the Packers have been winning wise. That's what they've done, is controlling the clock.
Yeah.
They did against Indianapolis. They did against Tennessee. They tried to do it against Philadelphia. Ultimately, it did not work because they couldn't capitalize on the turnovers. But that is a big thing.
Yeah. I mean, now that you just said that, we would definitely have a much higher chance of Jordan Love playing. Just obviously, Jordan Love is a much better passer than Malik Willis is.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to get Jacobs. I said this last week or 2 weeks ago, but we really need. I think he had 100 yards last week, or 97 yards. But we need to get him going, because
Yes.
I haven't seen what I expected to see.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling all my buddies that Josh Jacobs was going to be a top 3 running back in the NFL, and he's not even top 10. So I'm a little disappointed in that. But I would like to see him tear up the Vikings defense, and he has the potential to do it. He just hasn't really broken out yet.
Well, this is the breakout game for one of these running backs, either Josh Jacobs or Aaron Jones, because this determines it, because we had the best running back duo for 45 minutes.
Oh, yes.
And now it comes to you of the Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones. So this will determine who were the Packers right of getting Josh Jacobs. I do think it will be right in the long term, but for right now, it'll kind of decide who is looking better right now for the running back room there. But no, I think this has got to be despite the Vikings run defense being very good, Josh Jacobs needs a breakout game. And if Josh Jacobs gets the breakout game here, that's a great boost of confidence heading into the game.
Division rival in Lambeau. That's a huge booster.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's going to be a big thing. So that's going to be the one matchup, and John already mentioned it, is going to be the Jair on Justin Jefferson. We're not having Preston Smith on Justin Jefferson anymore.
Yeah.
If I see one play of that, Hafley is going out of the Lambeau field. He's getting out of it.
Yeah, hopefully, I'm sure but first of all, Preston Smith should never be in coverage ever. He's huge. You never put a guy like that in coverage. So, and there's no reason to when you have Jair Alexander guarding him, and he always, or most of the time, he does well against him.
Yes.
So there's no reason to put Preston Smith into coverage, and I think Jeff Hafley knows not to make any of those stupid mistakes after Joe Barry.
We see what happens with Jair just attacking Justin Jefferson. We've seen him get very frustrated, especially against the
There's a little frustration here as you watch Jefferson.
Alexander, and then Jefferson's so mad. Oh, elbow right to the back of the ref. He did not like that one. Watch. Accidental. Ooh.
That's a good thing he put on.
Yeah, that's a bad look right there. Yeah.
The media was asking him, is the matchup to Justin Jefferson, does the matchup really affect you? He's like, nah, not really. Not at all. It doesn't really. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
He's just saying it because he kept saying Jair doesn't get my head. I'm like, I don't know about that. I think he does.
Throwing helmets at refs, something's getting into your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's, to me, that's got to be one of the matchups. So we'll see about that. And then Xavier McKinney, it'll definitely be interesting for him because, I think he can definitely take advantage of Sam Darnold because I think Sam Darnold will throw maybe interception here or there. But I think Xavier McKinney's definitely going to get an interception against Sam Darnold. Is my prediction.
Yeah, I don't think Sam Darnold's going to play well in Lambeau. I just think he's going to have one of those 4 touchdown games, and he looks like another MVP. I just don't see that happen, especially against this defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the best defense Sam Darnold has played this year.
I would agree. I mean, the only one you could argue technically is the San Francisco 49ers, but they're getting up there in age, and they're also losing a bunch of their players too to injuries. It's not the same. It's not the same defense anymore that everyone thought that was in week 1 against the Jets. But to me, it's not the same to me. I mean, I think the Packers defense is getting better, and it's more younger and hungrier than the 49ers defense.
Yep, 100%.
But yeah, I mean, that's got to be a key matchup there. But to give you some injury report here, folks, to help everybody out of who is injured and who might not be playing, who might be playing. So we'll start with the Packers because they also got a long list, but so do the Minnesota Vikings. They also got a long list of injuries here, John. But let's get it started here. Jair Alexander dealing with a quad recept injury. He was a limited participant yesterday and today. Kenny Clark dealing with a toe injury. He was a limited participant yesterday and today. Elton Jenkins is fine. He's had rest for yesterday. He was a limited participant. He was full participant today. Tucker Kraft, he went out late in the game, then came back towards the end of the game. He is dealing with a shoulder injury. He was a limited participant yesterday, but he was a full participant today, so he should be good to go. Jordan Love dealing with that knee injury, and everyone thought he's going to be coming back later, maybe missing a month. If he plays less than a month from that injury is insane to me.
It is.
It's just insane. But he was a limited participant yesterday and today. I think he'll be a limited participant tomorrow, knowing Matt LaFleur saying on the press conference. Jordan Morgan, he did not practice at all last week. He's dealing with a shoulder injury. He did not practice yesterday or today, so I think he'll be out, our first-round pick. But I'm fine with him because I think he'll be fine in the long run. But for right now, I think we don't need him personally. I don't think we need him right now. We got some good offensive linemen per se. Luke Musgrave dealing with the same injury as Jair's. He was a participant yesterday and today. Josh Myers dealing with a shoulder injury, limited participant yesterday, full participant today. Jaden Reed dealing with a calf and the same injury as I mentioned before with Luke Musgrave and Jair. He was a limited participant yesterday and limited participant yesterday and today. Then Zach Tom dealing with the same injury as I just mentioned with Jaden Reed, not the calf, but the other one with college stuff. He was a limited participant yesterday, full participant today, so that's pretty good. Carrington Valentine, practice finally. He didn't practice at all that much and did not play last week. Limited participant yesterday and today, so that's pretty good because we saw what happened when he played against the Minnesota Vikings the last time. He had a pretty good game, John, last season against them.
Yeah. I do want to say one thing about that. I want to talk about Luke Musgrave.
Okay.
I thought when we drafted Luke Musgrave, I was like, this is a great pick. This guy's going to be great. And I think he has potential to be one of the most talented tight ends in the league. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I feel like we just haven't really seen it due to injuries. And I think we have – I really want to see something out of Luke Musgrave. But I think it's great that Tucker Kraft is also – I always thought that Luke Musgrave was going to be better than Tucker Kraft, but it really looks like Tucker Kraft is going to be tight end 1.
Uh-huh.
So, just wanted to say that. I was like Luke Musgrave.
Yeah. And then Devontae Wyatt, he last guy on our list, dealing with a shoulder injury. He didn't say anything from yesterday, but he was limited today, though. But yeah, and the quick thing I forgot to mention was Zach Tom has not allowed a sack or pressure on he's one of the few guys that has not allowed a pressure. They did list 2 other guys, which one was Lane Johnson, even though I disagree because if you look back in the week 1 game against us, Rashawn Gary clearly gets on Jalen Hurts a sack, and Lane Johnson was there for the block. So I don't know how that's happening, but I think Zach Tom, underrated player, underrated. I think he could get honestly, he could get first team, second team all pro. He could make it all pro.
Oh yeah, definitely. And he's young.
Yes, he's young. and he could play almost any position, but still, he's so useful and helpful. I'd love to see that out of him.
Yep.
But yeah. All right, let's get to the Viking side, the Skull Garbage Nation. All right, Garrett Bradbury, their center, which he has dealt with multiple injuries before. He's dealing with an ankle injury. He did not practice yesterday, but he was a limited participant today. I would expect him to probably go. Next guy on the list is Ivan Pace Jr., the linebacker. He's dealing with an ankle injury as well. He did not participate Wednesday he didn't practice yesterday or today, so he's probably not going to play. Jay Ward, he's dealing with a knee injury. He did not practice yesterday or today, so he probably won't be able to go. Jordan Addison dealing with an ankle injury. He was a limited participant yesterday and today. So I think he'll play, but it might be on limited snap counts. Yeah. Jonathan Bullard was limited participant yesterday, did not practice today. Dallas Turner, the first-round pick, was limited participant yesterday, full participant today. So that's a good sign for the Vikings. We'll see how it goes, because that's another thing I'll talk about is the offensive line matchup with that defensive line, because they got the good pass rush. But we also got some good offensive linemen here. Yeah. As long as the penalties does not affect us, I think the Packers can take care of business in that. Yeah. In the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then our next guy we got is Camus Gruder-Hill, dealing with a knee injury. He was limited participant both days, yesterday and today. Josh Oliver, also limited participant yesterday and today, dealing with wrist injury. Sam Darnold, he got hurt late in the game last week. People were a little scared, but he was completely fine because he's been a full participant Wednesday and today, dealing with that knee injury, so he should be fine. And then Christian Darson, their offensive lineman, dealing with an illness. He did not practice today.
Yeah.
But
if I was a Vikings fan, I don't know if I'd be scared if Sam Darnold wasn't playing, but I'm not a Vikings fan, so I won't judge. But
yeah. So there's that is your injury report here for the Packers-Vikings so far, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, so for just go into this game, as we already mentioned before, we already mentioned the defensive side. Offensively, I think, again, like we mentioned before, the pass rush, I think the Packers can take care of that. I think they can stop there in the pass game, honestly. Big question is going to be the trenches of the run game, because obviously the Vikings' run defense is pretty good. But can the Packers, overcome that? Can they overcome that and not give up as many penalties as they have for the past 2 weeks? If they get the run game going, then boom, that's going to be that's going to open the door for the Packers a lot more and give them more momentum and help them win a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Sam Darnold is similar in certain ways to Will Levis. Well, he will get nervous under pressure. So I think if we get pressure to Sam Darnold, I think he'll throw 2 interceptions, and we'll force some turnovers too, hopefully. But yeah, I think we can create problems with Sam Darnold, definitely. And regarding our run game, I think that if we get Josh Jacobs going, it'll definitely open the door for passing.
Mm-hmm.
And if Jordan Love is the one passing the ball, even better. But Malik Willis, I'm not complaining either. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what would you say? So John, let me ask you this then. What would you say is going to be the game plan, or your keys to the Packers winning this week?
I would say, I would say conservative, I guess. I don't think it's necessary on this defense to throw balls 50 yards downfield. I think if we use clock properly and we get the ball downfield and score, and then get pressure on Sam Darnold, I think it's a win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. That's what Matt LaFleur has done. He's been very conservative, especially when we most of us didn't agree in the Colts game. That was less than 2 minutes before half, and we all wanted them to just do a play and everything. They were up by so many points. I was like, you got a free play to do something here, free drive, and they do nothing. Because Matt LaFleur wanted to be conservative. He didn't want to risk it with Malik Willis. But now, that's the big thing. I like seeing the conservative out of Matt LaFleur. However, if it's going to be 4th down in inches or by 1, and it depends on the spot for me, really, folks. If it's by the 48-yard line or more, I go for it personally. That's just me.
Me too.
Not trying to pull Dan Campbell on your own 30-yard line, because that costs you going to the Super Bowl, dude. But That's me. If they can be conservative in that process, but also be aggressive when necessary, is what I would say. In that they could get it done. That's just me personally. So that's one of my game plans there. Run game. I mean, I don't think that's going to be key, but that could be very helpful if you could get they got to get the run game going, even if it's like the Cincinnati Bengals offense where Zach Moss is running like 2-3 yards, even like when they had Joe Mixon. Yeah, I will take that if you don't run it that much, but like if you keep it going so you can open up the play action a bit more, I'm fine with that. And I think the big thing to attack this is going to be Malik or Jordan, whichever is playing, throw the ball. Yeah. Throw the ball is going to be a huge crucial if you can get it, because the Vikings defense likes to do a lot of disguises, and they've done that for so many years. If they get that, boom, Packers get the momentum and they get done. Like they can get that. So I would say attacking in the air is going to be the big thing. Defensively, you got to stop or hold Aaron Jones as much as you can. That's going to be a big thing. And then I would love to see Rashawn Gary get some sacks, dude. Like we need to see him step it up a bit more. I'm a bit disappointed in him. Same with Kenny Clark a little bit. Like if they can stop the run game, like not completely, but if they can do a solid job in the run game, and then you gotta force Sam Darnold to throw the ball a bit, not to Justin Jefferson, because obviously when Justin Jefferson gets the ball, boom, he's gonna win. Yep. We gotta make him like throw the ball over. I think that's gonna be the key, because they are definitely gonna use Aaron Jones so much, and if the Packers can stop him, because the way I will describe it, and I will not say this guy was better than Aaron Jones. Eddie Lacy, when he played for Seattle Seahawks, that Week 1 game, when he got the ball, everyone in the house knew what was about to happen when he was in there, and the Packers defense would stuff him every single time. Mm-hmm. That is what the Packers run defense has got to do. They got to do that.
Yeah, I think Aaron Jones is a little better in his career right now than Eddie Lacy was on Seattle, but yes, I do think that they need to stop it. Obviously, they need to stop Aaron Jones. And they don't have TJ Hawkinson. No. Jordan Addison is not going to be 100%. So really, he's relying on two guys. So, I mean, if you get pressure to him and he's forced to throw uncomfortable passes to people that aren't Aaron Jones or Justin Jefferson, there's going to be huge problems.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, especially since like the offensive line's a little banged up here and there, as we mentioned before, Bradbury and Darson. Like, they could really get after them if they really can. That's got to be the big thing for me personally, is they could really, like, if they take the run game out and they force them to throw down, like the Packers get points very quickly on the field, get the touchdowns, and they force them to throw it, that's pretty good, because they're not gonna have to run with Aaron Jones that much anymore. They really can't. They're gonna have to throw the ball. They're forced to throw the ball down the field. So Packers got to get, obviously, to jumpstart. I'm fine with them taking the ball to start the game. I am fine with that, because I have seen Elfler it's paid off when this team takes the ball first. It has worked out the past couple times. So I would say that. And I mean, the Vikings defense, they still got the old man Harrison Smith, who's still good, but like, again, we could really take advantage of this secondary, because they got Gilmore, which Gilmore's not the same guy he once was. They got Griffin. I remember him on Seattle. I have his autograph when he went to UCF. Same with his brother Shaquem when they went there, because I got Blake Bortles' autograph. That would have been nice, but didn't happen, of them beating the Patriots in the AFC Championship. But you got to really attack that secondary. That's going to be a big thing for me personally.
Yeah, and I think it'll be – I think I keep going back to this, but I think it'll be different if Jordan Love is playing in the passing game. But listen, I actually think if Malik Willis plays, I think our run game will be better than if Jordan Love plays, because I feel like it's just like I don't want to say like it's like you don't know what to expect from Willis. Like you don't know if he's gonna rush. Obviously, last week he did both. Yeah, he threw for 200 yards and he rushed for 75 yards and a touchdown on both ends. So I mean, I don't know what would be better, to be honest. Jordan Love would be better, but I mean, I think that Malik Willis can open up the run game for us.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. It also, like, if Jordan plays, you also got to be questioned about his mobility too, because his mobility is getting better, but it's not going to be 100%. We all know that.
Right.
So because my big thing, and he's looked fine in practice, is he going to wear the brace? Because he wasn't wearing the brace when the pregame warm up in Tennessee. So, like, if he doesn't wear the brace, that's a very good sign that he can move a bit more and everything. So I would like that.
Yeah. I would definitely like to see him play. But much respect to Malik Willis for what he's done for us.
Exactly. I mean, you could take off that picture behind you, John. Just take off Jordan Love and put Malik Willis there.
Malik Willis there? Yeah.
Well, Malik Willis there. He's the next great quarterback of all time. Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he could be.
But yeah. So, yeah, folks, that is our keys to the game here. John, what is your score prediction?
So, last week I said, or 2 weeks ago against the Colts, I said low scoring. It was low scoring. Called that.
Yes.
This week I'm calling a high scoring game.
Ooh.
And I think the Packers will win 34-27.
Okay. Good score. I think it's being more of a mid, I think it's being mid of like the 20s. The mid 20s is what I think it's going to be. And I'll go with my classic score prediction. Or no, excuse me, I won't do that. I'll do it by a touchdown for the Packers, 28-21 over that.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's going to be a mid. It's going to be the mid range there.
No field goals, you don't think?
Well, it depends if someone misses the field goal, which Navarson is luckily not missed of last week, but he did miss that one against Philly, and still, you got to watch out for that.
Yeah. I think that, and I see a big day for Christian Watson. I don't know why, but I think Christian Watson is going to tear up. I don't even know who's guarding him, but I think he's going to tear up whoever's guarding him.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. Because we did see what happened when he went against Gilmore the last time in the Dallas game. We saw that, and we burned him so many times.
Mm-hmm.
So that really doesn't. I mean, it wasn't even Christian Watson on him. I believe it was Dobbs was on him. Wicks was also on Gilmore, and they still beat him.
I mean, these guys are 22 years old, and Gilmore is probably in his 30s. So. I mean,
he's declining because of injuries too.
He's rapidly declining. I can't believe he's still like starting.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me. But yeah, I think Christian Watson's in for a big day. I don't see much. To be honest, I don't see too much from Jaden Reed. Because I don't think LaFleur is really like kind of using him as much as we did when Jordan Love was playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see a big day for Christian Watson, and I really hope for a big day with Josh Jacobs, because I told everybody and their mother that Josh Jacobs was going to be great on this team, and I still think he's going. So I'm sticking with that he's going to be. So hopefully,
but yeah, it'll be definitely an interesting game. I mean, you got the game on CBS, 1:00 game, so it'll be interesting.
Who's broadcasting?
It's not Romo or it's not Romo and the other guy. I forget his name.
Jim Nantz.
Yeah, Jim Nantz. Not them. I had it somewhere. Hold up. Wait. The CBS early will be Kevin Harlan and Trent Green.
Okay. I like Kevin Harlan.
I do too. Trent Green, not a big fan of him.
Not big on him, but I think Kevin Harlan's a fun commentator.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, we won't be we will get the game, John, because we're in the area. So we'll get the game. If not, it would be the Pittsburgh game. So we got to fight that out.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that.
Exactly. So we'll see when that happens. But no, it should be a good game this week. It'll definitely be a test. I mean, I don't think both these teams are going to be – obviously, both these teams are not going to be the same when we get to December. Like, it's not going to happen because they're going to be completely different by the end of the time. So we'll see if these two teams are still pretty good by the end of the when we get to December. It'll be interesting though.
Yeah, I think the Vikings will be a losing record by then.
Yeah.
And I think Sam Darnold will be sitting on the bench by then as well.
All right.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens. And Jordan Love will be playing like an MVP by then. So
Exactly. But
two other MVPs there, too.
exactly. John, before we head out, I got to get your thoughts on here because of this division here. Since we just talked about the Vikings here, how are we feeling about the other teams in the division, the Bears and the Lions?
I think the Bears. Everyone is saying this now, but I've been saying it. The Bears are horrible, and Caleb Williams is terrible. I've been saying this since he got drafted out of USC, and I didn't think he was good in college, or at least a first overall pick.
Yes.
I just don't see anything out of him. I'm not surprised that the Bears love this guy. The Bears love mediocre quarterbacks, and obviously it looks like they have another one. But I think they'll be last in the division. I think the Lions will finish second in the division. I do think the Lions are better than the Vikings.
I definitely agree.
And I think the Lions will finish second, with the Vikings finishing third, but not too far away from the Bears. That's hot take, but I do think the Vikings will finish close with the Bears. And
Agreed.
I think the Packers will be on top. Not biased. But I don't think our record will be like I don't think we'll have 3 losses. Like I think we're gonna have like 6 losses, I think, by the end of the season. But I do think we're gonna be better than the Lions, the Bears, and the Vikings. Because honestly, they all I don't think any of them look like a well, I don't think to be honest, I don't think any team in the NFL right now looks like a powerhouse.
The only one you could argue is the Chiefs and the Bills.
I would say the Bills. I would say the Bills are better than the Chiefs right now. I don't think Mahomes is playing good at all.
No, he's not.
It's just as many touchdowns as he has interceptions, I think. So not playing good football. And he played the Falcons last week, and it was a close game. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I definitely. There are people calling the Vikings a powerhouse, and I think that's insane. Considering Sam Darnold's a quarterback, I respect Sam Darnold. I did before he on the Vikings, but he came from a really bad Jets team. He traveled to Carolina, but I don't think that he's the answer for Minnesota. If anything, I think JJ McCarthy. I don't think JJ McCarthy's good either.
No.
But I think honestly, they'd be 3-0 if JJ McCarthy was quarterback too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree. I mean, the Bears are the Bears. They still suck as usual because they don't know how to find the great quarterbacks and run a proper organization because they always stink.
Yeah, we still own them.
We still own them. Even if you ask Mr. Aaron Rodgers and if you play the Bears Still Suck song or ask any Packer fans, you know it.
Yep.
It's just that. I mean, the Lions, I thought they'd be a little bit better. They've looked a little bit sloppy and kept the games close. But yeah, I mean, their only loss was to the Bucs. They almost lost to the Cardinals, and theirs have been decided by less than 7 points.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give them too much heat on the Cardinals because I think the Cardinals are a much better team than they were last year. And my favorite player in the league, besides any Packers, is Kyler Murray. I'm a big Kyler Murray fan. So I really like what he's doing there in Arizona. I think it's pretty cool to see. But, I wouldn't give him too much heat. I do think that Jared Goff can take them pretty far. But,
Definitely.
I think there's a limit. I don't think they're going to finish, like with a great record. I think they'll make the wild. Like they're a team I see making the wild card barely and losing.
Dude, I mean, I agree. They do have. I mean, their center Ragnar is out for this upcoming week against Seattle, so that is going to play a huge game there for them. We'll see.
So many phony teams.
Yeah, I mean, horrible. I mean, I hope Seattle gets it done. That's what I really hope.
I hope so too, but I don't like seeing Seattle 4-0. It just doesn't look right.
It doesn't.
Geno
It
Smith
doesn't.
is not a 4-0 quarterback. So,
I mean, I'd be happy if they could get the job done, but I just don't see it happening with them.
yeah, I don't either.
Because the Seahawks played the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Dolphins. Like,
All bottom five teams right now.
mm-hmm. Like, so I think the Lions will win it, but like, I would love to
think
see
that'll
it.
be a close game. Actually, I think that the Lions will keep that close, or the Seahawks will keep it close with them. I should say. I think it'll be a 7-point game.
I believe the last 2 times that these 2 teams have played each other, it has gone very high scoring game and has gone up into almost the 40-point digits, and one of them was in overtime, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I can see the same thing happening here. Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting for that because I will be streaming that game Monday nights because I care more about that game than the other Monday night game because that is boring to me personally, folks, because it's not a great one because you got the Titans and the Dolphins. So not great. Not great. I'd rather stream the Seahawks Lions game. That would be more fun, folks. But no, that'll be interesting to see there, folks, because I mean, us Packer fans, we gotta root against the division rivals, but it'll be interesting to see that game as an NFL fan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Definitely. But John, I'd like to thank you for coming on once again here. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Before we head out, we got to read the quick comments section because it's only by one person. So we'll read the quick comments first. First one is by my buddy Zach. As a special teams guy, Navarson ain't it, especially when winter weather comes around, but maybe he'll last a year at least.
I completely agree with Butternut Squash Cards.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. The Bears picked 1 in the 4th, and it was a punter, though. The highest drafted kicker was the Jags this year.
A punter in the 4th round. That is insanity.
I do remember that. Yeah. That's how the Bears run.
That's a Bears pick. Yeah, I was going to say that.
They're just trying to help the other opposing teams score a lot of points on them.
Yeah. And obviously, he's not doing a great job, this guy, because I haven't heard his name once.
The only time I heard it was when ESPN posted on social media where Caleb Williams texted the players like, yeah, you won't need to punt that many more times around here. And the guy's punting more than how many touchdowns Caleb Williams has.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the last comment there, folks. But once again, folks, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate everyone joining in. If you want to listen to the podcast, if I mentioned before, it is here on the YouTube channel. And if you want more content from my channel, I will be putting out more content Saturday. I'll be putting my Cleveland Browns video with Zach, who just commented in the chat. So if you want to see who the greatest Browns player of all time is, go check it out. And yeah, go check that out, folks. And I'll be streaming Monday Night Football. One game, not streaming the Tennessee Titans game because that's garbage.
Will
Levis.
Skylar Thompson versus Will Levis.
Yeah.
That's some matchup.
Garbage, folks. But yeah. And then, of course, you got to play the Packers song here later.